Hi, everyone.
Hello.
This is my roomie, and I am the new roomie.
Yep.
And we both have YouTube channels, and we just saw the Black Panther, so we thought it would be fun to do a little, collab.
Yeah.
So,
And we haven't really talked about it with each other.
Nope.
We've talked about it with other people.
Yep.
So, this is pretty much honest first reaction, and we're going to try to stay not spoiler for the beginning part.
Yep.
So that way, if you're watching this and you just want to know, yay or nay sort of thing, then you'll be good. But
Yep.
We're going to give you a warning. We're only going to give it once, and it's just going to be quick, so pay attention.
So, I'm not the biggest Marvel person.
Yep.
I've seen almost all the movies, usually in theaters, but I just, I don't care that much about them. They don't do much for me. I like Captain America and Iron Man the most. I was moderately engaged the entire time. And, cared what was going on. So, that's where I'm at.
So I liked it a lot. I thought that it was definitely a top tier Marvel film.
Yeah.
I think that it's hard because now I think this is the 18th Marvel film.
Yeah.
So it's hard to be like, what order does it fall into? But I think it's definitely top tier. I really liked that it wasn't an origin film.
Yeah.
There's just too many of those in Marvel. I think that this was... It felt like the same character that we saw in Civil War, who I really liked and I wanted to know more about.
Yeah.
And I really liked that about him. I thought the beginning was really good.
I thought the beginning was a lot stronger.
Yeah.
And that it got, I cared less and less as time went on.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, I just felt less and less, engaged in what was happening. I really liked the world building. That was something that felt very Guardians of the Galaxy to me.
A lot of good world building.
Yeah, where I like feeling like I'm entering a new, fantasy place.
Mm-hmm.
I thought some of because it's a mix of, a lot of African vibes, but with this really intense technology. The technology part, I was kind of, hit or miss on, because sometimes I thought it looked really cheap. I thought pretty much all the actors were really, really good, especially, just the main cast, that main, trio.
Yeah.
Was really strong. I like the world building. I love the music. And the music
was really good.
I generally don't pay attention to music too much, so the fact that I even noticed it means it was great.
It doesn't have that standout track like Wonder Woman did.
Yeah.
Because Wonder Woman's got the da-na-na-na-na-na.
Yeah.
That's so iconic, and it doesn't... But what I like is that I feel like it's the first Marvel film that has a really good soundtrack. Doesn't have a standout one, but it also doesn't have just other era music.
Yeah, no.
Like Guardians. Guardians has good music, but it's borrowed.
'80s, yeah. Exactly. It's borrowed.
It's borrowed music. It doesn't really count. What do you want to talk about first?
How great I thought the first villain was. The Scottish villain, and how subpar I thought Michael B. Jordan was, which is unfortunate because I love Michael B. Jordan. I loved him in Creed, I loved him in Friday Night Lights, and there was something about him where I did not feel like he embodied the character very well. I thought he was rather monotone. I thought there was a weird, I don't know, I just was, I wasn't intimidated by him, where with the Scottish guy, he was fun and energetic.
He was batshit crazy.
Yeah, and it was so fun to watch, and it was such a stark contrast between him being kooky and crazy, and then the Black Panther being stoic and serious. It was so good. It was kind of like a Batman Joker vibe, which I love. It works for a reason.
I would agree. One of the things that I have a huge problem with Marvel is that they throw away their villains way too easily. They've only kept on a couple of them. That's kind of changed recently, but for a long time, Loki was the only villain that they kept. Over multiple movies, because a lot of people might not remember because the movie was so awful, but he was in Age of Ultron.
Wow, I did not remember.
That's when he loses his hand, because Ultron smashes it off. And that's when he's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, you humans are just so puny."
Wow, I have no recollection of that.
It was such a bad movie, so that's one of the worst Marvel films.
But he redeemed himself. At least as someone I remember in this one. It was so fun.
Way crazier in this one, I thought. In the other one, he seemed much more sane and stable. I personally like Michael B. Jordan. I thought he was really good.
See, I thought it was a weird, he just didn't quite embody the character the way it's I saw what the character was supposed to be, but there was something about, and I don't know, it just felt almost he was holding back, and then I laughed sometimes when he said his lines, like especially when he fought Black Panther to be king, I don't know. I wish there was just something about his performance that was stronger. Because I just didn't, especially because he came after the Scottish guy. Maybe if it was just him throughout. Yeah. But I already had someone else to compare him to, and the other person was way stronger, in my opinion.
I would say that I thought he was stronger when he hadn't yet become king. When he became king, he was much less interesting. I will definitely agree with that. Yeah. That once he became king, he was much less interesting, but he was really cool, like, when you see him for the first time in that museum.
Yeah.
Like, I thought he was really cool. He was interesting. He had a lot of character to him.
When he had that shootout with the Scottish guy and then, like, killed his girlfriend, they were definitely going for, like, this guy is brutal. This guy is ruthless. And it's like, I wanted to feel it. I wanted to be intimidated. I wanted to be scared. Because that's what, like, that's... Marvel movies, I always feel like I'm never scared. Yeah. Like, I'm never nervous about these characters. I always know who's gonna live, who's gonna die. Yeah. I thought Wakanda, as much as I liked it, especially towards the end, I felt that it was kind of small. Because it was beautiful. I loved going there. It felt like another world. And it was really fun to explore. And I really liked the mix of technology and just, like, great African
tradition.
Planes.
Yeah.
No, it was really fun.
I loved that. It was so strong.
It was so good.
With that.
But it felt like we spent the entire movie in, like, 3 rooms, which made the city, which is supposed to, because you get a lot of aerial views of it. Yeah. It looks massive and huge, and there's so much going on. And I just felt by the end of it that it was, I don't know, it just felt really, really tiny to me.
I think it's the fact that we saw the same street twice.
Yeah, we did see this.
It's like you couldn't have picked another street. Like, any other street. You have a massive city, and there's not a second street that you could film on.
I noticed that, and that's what I mean, where it's like, it just felt small.
Yeah. Can I just say, as far as Wakanda culture goes... weird lip gauge thing going on.
I know.
I get that they were trying to do something like different,
cool and cultural,
but that was distracting.
It was so distracting. It was wacky, and I kind of, because that person like hardly talked. Obviously,
he talked once.
Yeah, it wasn't like. I don't know, it was kind of fun to see really wacky aesthetics. That was something that I really liked about it, was because it was just so wild and interesting. I really like Black Panther. Yeah. Like, the character, whose name I can't remember. But he's so good.
Yeah, I can never remember his name either. Yeah,
and all their names are so, like, out there.
I'm bad with any names that aren't, like,
simple.
John. Yeah. Andrew.
Yeah, so I thought he and... his, like, lady friends, too. The little sister and Lupita Nyong'o, and the warrior chick. I thought all 3 of them were extremely strong.
This might be one of the best brother-sister relationships in a film. It was really good.
It was very sweet.
It felt so real.
Very natural. And I liked her a lot. I thought she was... They did a little, like, Mary Sue with her, though, where she was like, I built the trains. I built all of this. And I'm like, you're 18, or you look extremely young. Like, no, you didn't. But, you know, they were just trying to keep the character count to a minimum, I suppose.
She's like the Wakanda Tony Stark, essentially. Yeah. Like, that's who she is. Yeah. Which I'd be very interested to see the 2 of them talking.
I like her a lot as a character. She's really fun. I don't know where this was shot. Like, especially the fight scenes. Oh. If it was shot on location, like some sort of, like, safari reserve or something like that. I thought it looked kind of bad. I thought it looked just very green screen and flat, which I hate because I really like...
It looks like the prequel movies. I know. Yeah. If you want a comparison, that's what it looks like. It looks like the prequel movies.
Especially for that ending battle. What I did like, even though it still, like, kind of had a little bit of that CG vibe to it, but when there's those battles, like, against the king on the waterfall, I really like hand-to-hand combat. Or something where it's more close and intimate and you can follow the action better. Yeah. And so I liked those ones.
The waterfall was really nice. Yeah. That was a great set piece that they had there.
Yeah. I mean, I knew he would be thrown off it at some point, or somebody would be thrown off it.
What did you think of the final fight scene between Michael B. Jordan and, like, not counting the giant duel with the rhinos, which at least the rhinos broke it up a little bit.
It broke it up a little bit. They were a little goofy. They made me laugh, but
I'm just over giant grand fights like that.
I'm over like there being fights with no stakes.
Yeah. I mean, it's got to be like Lord of the Rings or something that you've really built up to. Aww. And I didn't feel like this.
I was like, what's happening? That was part of the thing where I was just like eyes glazed over a little. For the final fight, that was one where it's like I really liked when they were falling.
That was
really cool.
Really cool.
Yeah, and I wish somehow that could have just gone on for like 3 minutes.
Honestly, I liked that setting better than most of the other settings.
I did too.
Like, because I know it's like, it doesn't have as much going on, but I think that's kind of better for it.
I thought the train thing was a little like, I don't know, I didn't care. Mm-hmm. I wasn't super into it. I wish there was something more like poetic. Yeah. That just felt like, good thing they set that up earlier.
When they're, like, talking and kind of pacing before the fight, like, begins. It just made me think Darth Maul and Obi-Wan.
Oh, see, I was like, that was so Lion King. That was so Simba and Scar. What did you think of the ending in general?
Which part of it? Like, just kind of, that they get together and then...
Yeah.
I liked the speech to the UN.
Yeah.
I was cool with that.
There was like a little Tony Stark-esque in there.
My final one, I'll just give it my viewability rating of go see it in theaters, like right now. Right now, go see it. Thanks for watching this video. I hope you really enjoyed it. And if you enjoyed this video and you'd like to see more, give it a like and subscribe. I do videos every weekday. And if you enjoyed Claire and I's conversation, you can check out her channel. She talks about Star Wars and Avatar and lots of other things. So they'll be at the end of the video. There'll be a link to her channel and to one of her videos. I'll see you in the next video.
Goodbye.